The highway had no beginning anymore. It unspooled beneath the truck like a dark ribbon pulled from the throat of the earth, mile after mile repeating itself until distance lost, meaning the trucker. No one remembered his name, not even him. Called it the long road, spoken with reverence, as though it were a living thing that had chosen him. The radio crackled. "You're doing fine," a voice murmured through the static. "Warm as breath on glass. Just keep her steady." He smiled and tightened his grip on the wheel. The cab smelled of oil, old coffee, and something faintly sweet, like rot masked by perfume. The dashboard clock blinked 3:17. It had blinked 3:17 for weeks. Outside, the night pressed close, headlights carving a narrow tunnel through darkness that never quite gave way to dawn. He had once been a man with a family, with pay stubs and birthdays marked on calendars. That life slipped away somewhere between exits, peeled off him by repetition. The road learned him, the way water learned stone. The radio had been silent at first. Then one night, somewhere past a town whose name he could not recall, it spoke. "Salvation's ahead," the voice said now, "just a little farther." The trucker nodded. He trusted the voices. They knew the road better than he did. They warned him of black ice before it formed, of deer before they crossed, of towns he should not linger in. They never spoke at once, always calm, always patient. Towns appeared rarely now. When they did, they looked wrong, like stage sets left behind after a play. Gas stations glowed too brightly, fluorescent light buzzing like insects. Diners sat open with no cars outside, coffee still hot, plates half. He stopped once, weeks ago. The people inside had watched him eat in silence, their faces slack, eyes reflecting the chrome of his truck through the window. When he left, they did not wave. They simply stood and watched until the road swallowed him again. The next night, the radio crackled. "Good," the voice said. "You fed it." He began to notice the changes slowly. Road signs bent toward him as he passed, their arrows twitching, eager. The white lines stretched and narrowed, breathing beneath his tires. Sometimes, in the rearview mirror, the road behind him was gone. Only darkness, smooth and unbroken, as if nothing had ever existed there at all. He told himself he was tired. Madness, after all, announced itself loudly in other people. It whispered politely to you. The voices grew more personal. "We remember you," they said, "before the drinking, before the anger, before the night you never drove away from." The trucker's hands trembled on the wheel. He did not want to remember that night. The road had taken that burden from him. The road carried everything now. Ahead, lights bloomed. Another town, small and trusting. He rolled in just before midnight. The place had a name once. Now the sign was blank, the paint scraped clean, as though language itself had been peeled away. Houses lined the street with curtains drawn tight. "No!" Dogs barked. No insects sang. The radio spoke softly. "Slow down, let it taste." The trucker hesitated. For the first time in a long while, fear crept through him, cold and sharp. He stepped out of the cab, boots echoing too loudly on the empty road. The air smelled of dust and sleep. "Hador, open it." A woman stood on her porch, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. Not red, not white, but reflective, like an animal caught in headlights. Behind her, others emerged, silent, barefoot, drawn by something they did not understand. The road beneath the truck shuddered. Cracks spread like veins, glowing faintly, pulsing in time with the trucker's heartbeat. Abe acted wise, suddenly aware of the truth pressing in around him. The road was hungry, and it had taught him to feed it. "No," he whispered. "That's not salvation." The radio screamed. "You promised," the voices hissed, overlapping now, no longer patient. "You drive. We consume. That's the bargain." Memories surged back with violent clarity. The fight, the bottle shattering, the car that never made it home. The guilt he had buried beneath miles and miles of asphalt clawed its way up, raw and undeniable. He ran for the truck. The road buckled, rising, trying to hold him. The town screamed then, not with voices, but with absence. As buildings folded inward, Windows darkening, people dissolving into the pavement like spilled ink. The trucker slammed the door and turned the key. Nothing. The radio laughed. "You can't stop," it said. "You're part of us." He looked down at his hands. They were streaked with black, the same color as the road, the skin cracked and glowing faintly beneath. He had been driving for so long that the road had begun to drive him back. Morning never came. The highway stretches still, longer now, fed by vanished towns and forgotten names. Sometimes drivers report hearing a truck on the radio, a voice urging them forward, promising answers, promising home. They say the voice sounds tired. They say it sounds afraid. And somewhere on that endless road, the mad trucker keeps driving, no longer searching for salvation, only trying, desperately, to starve the thing that learned him too well to ever let him go.